pretty interesting interview here with Nina Turner being interviewed by Krystall of the Rising on the Hill. Let's take a look and listen. Expand. Full screen. Yes. I clicked on you. There we go.
11th Congressional District, the former Ohio State Senator released her official announcement earlier this month. Let's take a look at that.
I am a daughter of Cleveland. I was raised in this community by parents who worked very hard. My mother was a nurse's aide, my father a truck driver. I can relate to people who live in the 11th Congressional District from all walks of life. I am you. As a Cleveland City Councilwoman, I worked to secure housing for seniors. As an Ohio State Senator, I stood with working families and labor to maintain collective bargaining rights.
Teamsters.
I led the effort to create the Ohio Task Force on Community and Police Relations. I know that the struggle is real. I want to serve as your next Congresswoman because I believe that everyone deserves a good job, health care, and our children deserve to be educated from pre-K to college. I will go to Congress to help our community recover from the coronavirus, including helping small businesses and those who have been hardest hit. We are going to do great things together. Let's get to work. I am Nina Turner, and I'm running for Congress.
Pretty good little campaign ad.
I'm Nina Turner.
That's funny. Go to her website if you can. I'll link it down below.
Former national co-chair for the Bernie Sanders campaign, former Ohio State Senator, host of the
Cool
Hill
glasses,
podcast, and congressional candidate Nina Turner joins me now to talk about her run. It's so great to see you, Nina.
You as well, Krystall, and happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays to you and your family. We've been friends for a long time, so I'm not going to pretend to be neutral in this race. Just give us an update on how things are going so far, what the timeline is, and what ultimately made you jump into this race to start with.
Things are going very well, Krystall, just by the grace of God and a lot of sweat equity over the years.
Sweat equity.
I am really humbled by the level of support, outpouring of support that I'm getting from both my
bad connection,
and all across this country. I believe that so many people understand it is so important to have voices in Congress that amplify their needs. So whether it's the need for good paying jobs, the need to make sure that they live in safe and vibrant communities, the need to deal with the climate chaos that is impacting our country and the world.
Yes, for sure.
Or the with racial injustice. This campaign is a reflection of those needs. And so people are really excited, Krystall, as I am, for the opportunity to be able to take my service to the next level. As you know, I always call myself a hell-raising humanitarian.
I like that.
That will never stop.
Hell-raising humanitarian.
I am going to Congress to serve the needs of the people and looking forward to being able to do so.
And when she says that, I actually believe her. You know, there's a lot of politicians out there saying, yeah, I'm just want to be elected to help people out and, you know, to make sure my constituents' needs are taken care of. But more often than not, I feel like it's more about people wanting to increase their power and wealth. When Nina Turner, she's doing it to actually improve the material conditions of people in Ohio's 11th Congressional District and people in the U.S. more broadly. I firmly believe what she's saying. I really do.
And so just tell people a little bit about who are your opponents in the race and what is the actual date of this election. This is a seat, obviously the
Marcia
Democratic
Fudge
primary will probably determine who ultimately gets the seat's very strong blue district. So when is that primary date and who are your top competitors?
We're unsure. Election, the governor gets to set the date, but cannot set a date until there is an official vacancy, and there is not. Congratulations to Congresswoman Marcia Fudge.
She's been nominated for HUD, right?
Nomination that she received from President-elect.
I think it was HUD.
But until that actually happens, there's not a vacancy, and so the governor cannot set a date. So that's what we're waiting for, a special election date. I would imagine that this election will probably happen sometime in either April or May. In terms of my competition, there are people jumping into the race, and that is a beautiful thing. I do not hail from the school of thought that says stop. into a race. People who want to run should be able to run. And so there'll be a host of people, from currently elected officials to formerly elected officials to probably some activists, who will actually run for this seat.
And so, talk to us about your philosophy on if you do make it ultimately to Congress. There's been a debate, I'm sure you're aware of, playing out right now about whether progressives should withhold their vote for Nancy Pelosi for Speaker in exchange for some concession. One thing that's been floated is a Medicare for All floor vote. What's your view on that debate, and how does that relate to how you think about your relationship with Democratic leadership in the House?
I'll be unapologetically for the people.
Good.
That's not going to change. I'm not going to change who I am.
That's what all politicians should be for. Unapologetic, working in their work for the people and not worrying about what Democratic leadership or other party hacks think, but doing the right thing to improve the lives of the working class people in the United States. That's a good answer.
It's so deep, Krystall, and the COVID, the pandemic, has definitely revealed the fissures in a system that was not working before the pandemic, and it is especially not working now.
For sure.
As you know, and your viewers know, I have been a staunch supporter of making sure of fighting for universal health care. We are the only industrialized nation on the face of the earth.
Just disgusting. And we pay more than any country in the world for our health care, and yet we don't cover everybody. I wonder why that is. I wonder if it has something to do with it being a for-profit system that puts health insurance companies, bottom lines, and the pharmaceutical industries before what's best for the health of the people. It's disgusting. She's completely right.
It further revealed that the modification of healthcare just does not work. It is absolutely,
especially during a pandemic,
to have so many people suffering and adding to the list because of the pandemic, and not to have the type of leadership that is ready, willing, and able to throw all convention, everything that they may have believed before the pandemic, out the window because of the level of suffering. And so I have been on record, in ways that animate that suffering. I had a boss, Krystall, one time that used to say, if your hair is on fire, you ought to act like your hair is on fire. Well, I act like my hair is on fire most of the time because I do understand and feel the pain that people are feeling.
Yes, totally.
And Congress and the presidency, that is the biggest. I mean, you have the biggest stick on the federal level government.
No.
My name is Scott Harrison.
Just listen.
This is my wife.
Peace out, Scott Harrison.
How is it that we can bail out Wall Street, but we can't make a down payment on Main Street? Something is wrong with that, Krystall, and I am going to Congress to continue to amplify that. Yes, universal health care, a must, not a luxury, a necessity.
Yes.
Making sure people have a good paying jobs, $15 an hour minimum wage, and as you and I both know,
should be much higher.
Income had kept up with inflation. If hourly wages had kept up with inflation,
and productivity too.
$20 an hour mark here. We have got to do a new thing. There is a demand for a paradigm shift so that the least among us, the poor, the working poor, and the barely middle class, have more than a five this country. I am going to Congress to amplify that.
I like how she mentions the poor, the working class, and the middle class. A lot of times politicians only talk about this magical, this mythical middle class, when in fact, as she's alluding to, there's a lot of poor and working poor folks in the United States that are really struggling and suffering even more because of the economic conditions that have been created by the pandemic and the failings of the government on both the federal and state level to an extent.
Without apology. That's what
And so does that include using tools like, the speaker vote, because the margin is so narrow in the House, progressives and, strong progressives like the squad, like incoming members Jamal Bowman, Cori Bush, Mondaire Jones, and others, combined together have a lot of potential leverage.
Yes, they do, and they need to use it.
Potential concessions. Do you think that using tools like being willing to withhold your vote for Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, should be on the table?
Yes.
All tools should be on the table. And I definitely lean to the wisdom of my colleagues who are...
Keeps freezing.
When it comes to the level of suffering that people are feeling, real pain, eviction, being food insecure. People in my district experience that just like other people all across this country. This is real. This is not this is no time to play games. This is time to use the full force and weight of the people's power to serve them. This is about service, and so often
Yes, look
people
at that.
forget that those positions are about service. That when we are
Yes,
blessed enough
look
to
at that.
hold that power for however long we hold it, we are holding the people's power and should always do their bidding.
Yes.
And that measure should be
Preach.
based on those who are suffering
The most.
So
Yes.
all two should be on the table.
Look at that. What an amazing response. Everything should be on the table. We're there to do the work for the people. The people who are suffering the most. We need to keep them in mind when we're making these decisions. So it seems like she's in full support of holding her vote for Pelosi unless Pelosi makes some concessions, and that could be around bringing Medicare for All to the floor for a vote. That's great to hear, and you can just tell, like, she actually means what she says, and she cares deeply about the working class people in Ohio's 11th district and people all across the U.S.
Nina Turner, where can people find out more about your campaign?
Definitely go to ninaturner.com. Please support, volunteer your time. Time, treasure, talent is definitely necessary. This is a people power campaign, Krystall Ball, and I am forever humbled by the experiences that I've been able to have community to community, carrying my community with me everywhere that I have gone. And this is the moment to seize the opportunity.
Keeps freezing.
Chisholm is unbought and unbossed. I am in service
I
to
like
the people.
service.
Nina, it's always
That's
great to see you.
amazing.
Happy holidays to you and your family.
Happy holidays to you and your family as well, Krystall, and your viewers.
Look at that. I mean, so we have another. I mean, there's probably, I feel like, a pretty good chance that Nina Turner can win this race. As Krystall Ball alluded to, you know, it's a pretty blue district there, Cleveland's 11th district. And Nina Turner has a pretty good amount of national, you know, name recognition. So I think she's been doing pretty well fundraising. She's, you know, has experience as a state senator and that other elected position before. She actually advocates for things that'll improve people's lives, like Medicare for All. She's willing to support the idea of forcing the vote on that. So we have her. Jamal Bowman, Cori Bush said they wouldn't commit. So you get a handful more of people behind that idea, and then you would actually have enough votes to get Pelosi to listen at that point. And I'll link Nina Turner's website down below. Definitely, if you had a couple bucks or however much to spare, donate to her campaign. Volunteer, because we need definitely more voices that will do the bidding, like she said, of the people, of the working class in the United States. And I firmly believe that Nina Turner would be a very strong advocate for things like Medicare for All, canceling student loan debt, a Green New Deal, etc. Subscribe for more content. Like the video if you like the damn video. If not, that's cool too. Peace. Much love.